Following Elon Musk's announcement of his new AI, Grok, he revealed his artificial intelligence startup, XAI, will merge with the social platform X in an effort to try and rival popular AI tools like OpenAI's ChatGPT and Google's Bard. Joining us right now with some insight into Elon Musk's foray into this AI universe is Walter Isaacson. Of course, he's a CNBC contributor. He's also the author of Elon Musk, which is the book that everyone's read and is...
Thank you, Becky.
It really is. It's a fantastic book. It lays out so much about Elon Musk. What do you think about this foray into AI? I mean, having Twitter gives him a real ability to kind of put this up there with the other AI leaders at this
Absolutely.
point.
That was one of the unspoken things when he bought Twitter, is that we're all going to run on data. And what's the best data for the hive mind of humanity? It's the billion or so tweets coming out each week. Ever since he was a lonely kid with no friends, growing up, a teenager, he loved reading science fiction, and he read the Isaac Asimov stories and worried that AI, when robots, would turn on us. So he starts OpenAI with Sam Altman. Then they have a feud because OpenAI becomes closed and becomes proprietary, and Microsoft buys it. So last March, when I was doing the book, he said, you got to come by. It was Siobhan Zillis's house, who runs Neuralink for him and is the mother of a couple of his kids. And we sit in the back, and he says, I've got to start an AI company. And he had a certain sense of amusement by it. He said it was like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You'd be able to ask the computer everything. And so now he's merging it with X, the old Twitter, and he's using that data feed, and eventually it'll connect to real-world AI, meaning self-driving cars, the billion frames of video per day from Tesla cameras, and the robot. And so it's going to be quite interesting.
Has he conquered the idea of keeping it safe and making sure the robots don't turn on us, that original fear that he's talked about for years and years?
I don't think he's conquered it, and I do think that AI can start spewing out any information you tell it to. But in terms of having a safety button, I remember him, it's in the book, where he's dealing with Optimus the robot. His little 3-year-old is touching the robot's hand, and they're talking about making sure there's a kill switch for the robot. That if someday the robots turn against us, there's a switch that can't be, that the robot can't override. I'm going, wow, this is a weird worry to have, but it's always in his mind that humans have to be in charge.
The other worry, though, is that AI is a way to send out misinformation all over the planet.
Absolutely. So, by the way,
and
humans
start controlling
do that too occasionally.
Right, but start controlling the population because you're even more efficient and effective at it.
Absolutely. And this, to me, is the biggest danger. Not that some robots are going to turn on us, but it's possible that if you got people running an AI system, they could target everybody here. They could listen to every word you all have said and then know how to feed you with the right information and the wrong information to sway your mind. And that's, I think, the thing we have to guard against, is the spread of misinformation and targeted misinformation.
Do we have to worry about AI doing that, or are we already doing it ourselves?
Well, we're doing it, but like all technologies, I mean, I remember when I first covered people on the weird fringes, they'd be at the fringe of rallies handing out mimeograph sheets. David Duke, I remember down in Louisiana covering him. Then they get the internet. Now you have AI. Now you have social media. It can just amplify by 1 or 2 orders of magnitude what people have done in the past, but it becomes more dangerous, especially when you can target it.
We had a long discussion with Ben Mesrick, who wrote a book that it's
called Breaking Twitter.
Yeah, but the worst corporate merger in history. I think AOL.
Hey, wait a minute! I worked at AOL Time Warner.
Yeah, but
don't give me
that merger, in terms of value destruction and just everything.
Yeah. Let's not go there. Okay.
I'm sorry.
I still have a bathroom paper with stock options that are worthless.
That was a real bad. That was a bad deal. But he kind of see. And I'll admit that I was not always a fanboy of Elon Musk, but I am now. And I contend that he saved Twitter from a platform that wouldn't talk about the Wuhan lab, wouldn't talk about what closing down society could mean to our use, wouldn't talk about any controversy about anything that didn't fit with the woke liberal orthodoxy. Ben's viewpoint is that Elon now can't go on Jimmy Kimmel because he's going to get booed by the young intelligentsia. He's lost a lot of former fanboys because he's come out as not necessarily marching in lockstep with the progressive woke crowd.
You know, we've talked.
He said he's lessened in your eyes, and that you wouldn't write that biography at this point if you knew what you knew then. What do you mean, no? You would still write it?
Of course, man. It's the most interesting book in the world. And what we have, and working, watching him work for that year leading up to and then after the purchase of Twitter and the merger of AI into it, becomes this amazing story that we all wrestle with around this table sometimes, which is what you started with, which is, how do you open the aperture to more free speech?
The cesspool without the hate speech.
Yeah, and how do you make sure that the hate speech doesn't get amplified?
Is he lessened in your eyes because of what he did at Twitter?
Well, no. I mean, I do feel there's certain parts of Twitter that has gotten more toxic.
Has it crashed his reputation at this point?
No. Because if you look at Twitter for the 2 years before he got it, they put no features in, and they were stopping people from saying things that turned out to be probably more useful in our dialogue, in our politics.
It's a
nice way of saying that we shouldn't have said to the Jay Bhattacharya's, you can't talk about lockdowns being bad.
Or talk about Wuhan, they protect Anthony Fauci, all that stuff.
But the more interesting thing is the technological stuff that's happening. I remember on Christmas Eve of this past year, he went to Sacramento, turned his plane around. He was so angry that they had all these excess servers. And he personally lifted up the tiles on the floor and cut them out. And it's typical of Elon, because it degrades the service for a while. But then it proves, too, how much more nimble it can be. And he was able to put full motion video on, able to put so that you can get monetized if you make videos and live streaming. Twitter Spaces is good. But also, everything about Elon has rockets gone off, and it has rubble in its wake. And the rubble in its wake is that if you put far too more people on Twitter and you open the aperture of free speech, you're going to have some toxic stuff.